Welcome everybody. My name's Jordan. I'm with Tech Nerds, and this is our first foray into the YouTube space. So here at Tech Nerds, we want to be your nerdy tech channel. We want to be able to review all kinds of stuff from Bluetooth speakers to laptops to tablets, and the list will continue on and on. I've also gotten really into 3D printing, so we'll be doing some 3D printers and all kinds of different stuff moving forward. But we're happy to be with you. Super excited to be part of the YouTube space. And if you have any suggestions moving forward, we'd love to hear them in the comments. Also, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you along for the ride. And other than that, let's get into this. So we're going to start out this first video reviewing a small Bluetooth speaker, and we're going to do a handful of these videos moving forward to be able to eventually compare all of them together and hopefully save you some money in the process, because we're trying to get some stuff that's a decently budget tech so that everybody can afford it and everyone gets to have some nice jams for whatever they're doing, hanging out at the pool, hanging out at the beach, with some friends, if you're going on hikes, if you're out walking, whatever it is. Even if you're just sitting on the back patio and you want to be able to listen to something, then hopefully this is going to be something that will be worth your time. And the thing about these speakers is they're nice and pocketable, really small. But other than that, we're going to get straight into this thing. Okay, we are starting out with the Anker Soundcore Select 4 Go. This is an awesome little speaker. I've been using it past few days just to be able to test it out and see how well it works. Now this speaker, keep in mind, this is 5 watts of power output that this thing has, so it's not going to be something that's going to blow your mind for the bass and blow your eardrums out or anything, but something that's going to be nice to carry with you. You can see it basically the size that it is in my hand, and I don't have particularly big hands or anything, but this will easily fit into a bag. You have a little, for lack of a better word, a loop on the end here so that you can hook it up to a backpack or some sort of clip. And if you want to be able to carry that around with you, you can easily do that, whether, like I say, you go out walking or hiking or something like that, or even if you want to hang it off the top of a tent if you're out camping and be able to listen to it. This is a great little speaker for that. Now this thing has Bluetooth 5.3, so you're talking some newer technology, or fairly newer technology, and that means that you're going to have a pretty solid and stable connection to your phone for Bluetooth. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get too far away. You get 40, 50 feet, and you're probably going to be pushing the end of where it can go, but pretty solid connection. Also, you have IP67 dust and water protection, and it floats, which is great. So if you want to take it out on the water, you can actually set this thing on the water, and it should float on the top of the water. And this thing can even be submersed underneath the water up to 3 feet for 30 minutes before you really have any issues of destroying the speaker. This thing is a great little speaker to take with you wherever you want to go. Advertised battery life is up to 20 hours, or so they say, but keep in mind that's at 40% volume. I'm guessing that most people will probably be listening anywhere from, I don't know, 70% volume and up. That's because it tends to be a small speaker, so if you want to listen to it decently loud for a room that you're in, or like I say, out and about in nature or something like that, this is going to be a great little spot to listen to it, probably a little bit on the higher volumes. But if you are going to listen at higher volume, you're only really going to see about 5 hours if you turn this thing all the way up. That'll be 5 hours of battery life, and pretty solid battery life for the most part. But other than that, it weighs a little over half a pound, so this thing is a great little speaker for that. I highly encourage everyone to be able to pick this thing up. Just so you know, I got this thing on Amazon. It cost me about $25. So like I say, that's why we're trying to make sure that we get different speakers that are not too expensive, stuff that everyone can pick up, and that will have some decent sound quality for your money. Now, I'm going to be reviewing some other speakers moving forward, and those speakers are going to be comparable price range, somewhere in the $20 to $25 range off of Amazon. And I don't have any affiliate links yet, but I will be having some soon, so look out for that. But yeah, these things are really great, especially with all the dust and water proof stuff. It'll take care of everything you want. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into using the speaker itself. So as you can see on the overhead cam, so this is the front of the speaker. You have a nice mesh on the front, and of course you have the Soundcore logo. We have that little loop it has a little bit of stretch to it, but not much. But this thing is great if you want to be able to hook it onto somewhere like we talked about before. Now you're going to have rubber on the top, on the top and on the bottom. So this thing's going to be great for that. Plus, you also have these 4 rubber, feet or stabilizers if you want to be able to put this thing down on a surface and you don't want it to move. This thing will hold pretty well just about everywhere you go. I think it's going to be really great for that. Now, aside from that, if you want to get to the components of the speaker, you just open this little speaker opening or whatever you want to call it, right? But you have a USB-C input, which is great because you're going to be working with some of the newer technology. And then on top, you're going to have your power button, your Bluetooth pairing button, and then you're going to have your volume minus and plus, and then you're going to have play pause. So pretty straightforward controls. It's going to work out pretty good for just about anything you want to do. But having said that, we'll go ahead and get into hooking this thing up, getting it paired, and then we're going to play a little bit of audio from a couple different royalty-free music sources just to make sure you guys can hear for yourself. Now, keep in mind, once we get into that portion, I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. I highly recommend that you use some sort of headphones or you hook into some sort of better speaker system so you have a better representation of what the mic is going to be able to pick up. And even then, it's never going to do it justice on YouTube. When I try to play audio over through the mic, it's going to be okay, but always keep in mind that the audio is most likely going to be just a little bit better if you get this thing in person. So having said that, I'm going to go ahead and power this thing on. You got that initial Soundcore logo, or initial Soundcore setup. And then it is looking to pair right now. And we are already paired up because I had already previously paired this thing. So you can see the Anker Soundcore Select 4 Go paired up on the phone. And we will bring up some music so you guys can have a listen. And I'll try a couple different things so you guys can get a mixture of, some pop and some rock and different things just to be able to hear what the audio is like on certain different types of tracks. So like I say, this is the part where I would highly encourage you, if you want to put on some headphones, now is the time to do it. Or if you want to hook this thing into a better speaker, now is also the time to do it. So having said that, we're going to go ahead and start this thing out with a little bit of music. Here we go. This is, now keep in mind, we'll start this thing out at about 50% volume or 40%, which is what they recommend. That'll get you that 20 hours of battery life, and you guys can hear for yourself. So listen close to the mic, and here we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring this thing up to 75% volume. Some pretty solid audio so far. Go up to 100% volume. Go ahead and bring it back down so you guys can have an idea of at least one song, what that sounds like. We'll go ahead and move on to the next song and you guys can hear that one. Starting again at about 50% volume. All right, let's go up to 75% volume. All right, 100% volume. All right, go ahead and pause the music for now. So, I gotta say, and maybe it'll do it or it won't do it justice through the microphones, but I gotta say this little speaker puts out some pretty incredible sound for the size that you're getting, for the amount of battery life, for everything that you have here. This is just such a solid package for about $25. Soundcore has had a pretty good history of making some pretty solid audio devices, whether that be headphones or whether it be Bluetooth speakers, different things of that sort. Soundcore seems to have a pretty solid reputation so far, and I'm sure that they're going to continue to do great moving forward. But this is a great little speaker to take with you, honestly, wherever you go. Would highly recommend it to everyone, especially for the price of $25. There's really nothing bad to say about this thing other than maybe you're not going to have the premium tier quality that you would have on really nice speakers. But then again, you don't have the price tag that you have on some of those premium speakers. So for the size that this thing is and the amount of sound that it's putting out and the battery life that you potentially have, as well as the weather resistance, man, this thing is a great little speaker. I highly recommend it to anybody that wants to pick it up. Now keep in mind, and we'll go ahead and move back here. But if you can see back here, I have a lot more speakers that I'm still planning to review moving forward. So like I say, this is just the beginning, and we're going to be able to test all these out. And at the very end, after we've done a handful of videos, as you can see, we have a few more, we're going to be able to put these all on a shootout and see how well they do against each other. Plus, I also happen to have a JBL Go 4, and that's also a pretty solid speaker for the price. It's a little bit more expensive than this one, but the sound quality is pretty solid on that one as well, and it's going to be a really good basis for a comparison for all these speakers moving forward. But in the meantime, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for the Soundcore Select 4 Go. Great little speaker. Highly encourage everyone to pick this one up for $25. It's really hard to go wrong. And like I say, there's so many more speakers that we're going to review moving forward, and then plenty more tech in the future. But for the meantime, that's going to be it for us over here at Tech Nerds. If you have anything that you feel that we missed in this review that you want to hear for yourself and that you think would be good to know about the speakers moving forward, please let us know in the comments below and we'll address that as often as we can or as soon as we can. And until next time, we'll catch you in the next one. Stay nerdy.